Hey everybody, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We are here on Blitz Y, and we're going to be watching one of my favorite up-and-coming players in Ruin take on Soulkey here in the bottom right. Now, if you are watching this live here today, I did notice in the comments, like a lot of questions about ASL cast. Those are all done. Those are all sent to Afrika TV. So, I mean, as soon as they post them, they'll be up. Sorry about the delay on that, but of course it will be on the Afrika TV YouTube channel for those. All right. So just getting that out of the way. I want to thank you guys for checking out ArtosisCasts. Always appreciate it. Hope you've been enjoying the games. I feel like there's been a lot of really great ones lately. Also, CNSL will be starting very, very shortly, and it's going to be done on the channel in a very different format from what I've done in the past. And I really hope that you guys do enjoy that format that I'm going to be doing. We'll see. I'll get some feedback when we get started on that. Regardless, thank you very much, especially if you leave a comment, you know, or like the video. Things like that really do end up helping. So anyways, let's get into this match a little bit. So of course, Soulkey is our most recent ASL champion, just in unbelievable shape, and has been for a long time. Looks like he's gone for an overpool here, just a very safe build. And we have coming across the map here, Ruin. He has gone for the gateway. So yeah, it's you know, just going to be a little bit of zealot pressure. I got to say a couple things about this. First off, Ruin, of course, I really like. You guys know that I've casted a lot of Ruin games on here. I think he's one of the big futures of Protoss. But as far as Blitz Y goes, I haven't gotten to cast many PVZs here, but I do feel like this is a very, very, very doable map for Protoss. And let me show why, basically, right? See this, if we zoom out a little bit, see this third base location. It's really hard for Hydras to attack up here, to attack through here, and of course to attack there. So if you're holding this position, you're guarding this base and basically this base. What, are they going to bring a bunch of Hydras through here? Well, your rallied units from your main base will be here, and your units from up here will be up here, and then you can just kind of smash it, right? So I look at this map, and I do think it's going to end up being a very good map for Protoss in this matchup. We'll see if Ruin is able to do such a thing. Obviously, nothing is so easy as how it looks in theory, but I just wanted to put that out there. Now, Soulkey has made his third hatchery up at this location. Looks like we're going to have Ruin go ahead and throw down his Nexus. Couple Zealots out, third on the way. Of course, you know, when Lings are coming across the map, you generally put one Zealot and one Probe on the ramp while you continue to make a few more Zealots there. And we'll see the timing of that Forge coming up. Of course, we still have a Probe running around and checking. He actually sees 4 more Lings hatch. So that is some good info, at least here for Ruin, knowing exactly how many Lings are out. You're going to want to be careful moving out with your Zealots when there's that many. Walks out underneath the Overlord. There is actually a secondary Overlord here, so we'll see if he actually continues to go. These Lings are pretty far up the map right now chasing this Probe, so these 3 Zealots coming across actually have some potential for damage. Now, there is a Forge on the way. 1 Zealot sitting here at home. And, okay, these are going to actually end up turning around, these 3. I thought he might actually go for an attack there, but then a counterattack of the 8 Lings could have been a bit dangerous. Maybe just trying to force a few Lings here out of Soulkey, who does start a couple more, but that's it. So up to 10 Lings now. But against the amount of Zealots that he sees here, you know, for Zealots, it's not that bad, right, to have those Lings. It's not like he's hemming and hawing on an all-in or something like that. Now, Soulkey does have Zergling speed on the way. We haven't seen the layer as of yet. I think we'll probably see that now, right? Are we going to see layer? Kind of zooming out here, trying to catch all 3 hatches at once. Quite a bit of money being pooled up here. Maybe just looking to kill this Probe before he shows what he wants to do. Now look at that. We're at almost 200 gas. And the Hydralisk Den will go down. Okay, so Soulkey really playing a little bit tricky here. If I'm Ruin, I'm looking at this and thinking, maybe he has a layer at this base, right? Now, we almost have enough Zealots for him to just walk out and check things, right? Oftentimes we see the gateway expansion after it's held. You wait till 4 or 5 and then go out. Now, you do need 3 to completely clog up this choke, and there's only 1 cannon. cannon is not really optimal if there's a Ling run by. Let's say you send all 5 and there's a Ling run by here. This will barely be scraping the Lings as they go by, right? So it won't be hitting any that get out of range over here. So just throwing that out there is like, it doesn't look super great to walk out. Oh, and now we see exactly what Soulkey has planned. Okay, I talked about this in some previous games. Notice how he's going for the range upgrade first. This is a build where you make like a smaller amount of Hydras just to bust down cannons and walls, and then you flood in with speedlings. So it looks like that's what Soulkey's going to be going for. He hasn't gone for quick speed here on the Hydras. The speed is something you get first to reinforce your Hydralist count up at the front. And then this is a very different build. This is very, very new. We don't see it that often right now, but it is definitely a build that's on everyone's radar. Now, the first couple Hydras come up, and they will start poking these Zealots a little bit. Third cannon is on the way. How many do we have? I think we have about 8. Okay, looks like we have 7 here. Okay, so 7 Hydras. Going to be able to deal a lot of damage. The range upgrade is done. Speed is on the way, but he's really just focusing on picking off the wall. Now, I think what's going to happen here is we're going to see this wall get picked off. Then he'll run forward and bring his Lings in as well. But it's not actually that many Lings as of yet, is it? That's kind of interesting. We have a 4th hatch on the way as well. So is Soulkey actually just going to macro from here? Maybe Ruin just has enough that Soulkey's decided that this is not really a doable situation for this push. You know, when I've seen this build in the past, it's been, you know, somewhere around 6 Hydras here. Of course, as I mentioned, 7 into a mass Ling flood. But back at home, another hatchery, layer. So 5 hatch, layer, and evolution chamber all on the way. Of course, the Hydra speed as well, which is something that you are going to want. More gates on the way here for Ruin. Interesting opening here from Soulkey. It looked very, very dangerous. And you know what? Ruin didn't over defend, though. When you think about it, like 3 cannons, not so bad. 3 cannons is really, really reasonable. So I feel like he hasn't really wasted any money or anything like that. One thing I do want to mention is that +1 air attack has been started. But is there like literally just 1 Corsair out on the map? I'm a little confused. I almost feel like that should be Dragoon range instead. Like, getting +1 air attack is not necessarily bad if you think they're going to switch into Mutalisks at one point, which of course is a possibility. Here we can see there's no Spire though. But yeah, that seems a little bit weird this late with 1 Corsair out. Anyways, we have these Zealots starting to run across the map a bit. Looks like Ruin going to put on some heavy pressure here against Soulkey. Soulkey pulling back these Hydras. He's starting to mass Hydras quite a bit. Notice that he's already up to 40 drones. Oh, no +1 yet on the Zealots, by the way. +1 a little bit later there. Psystorm coming up, as well as that +1. You know, he did lose that Forge very, very quickly, so I guess that's probably part of the reason, or probably all of the reason why that's not ready. Spire does get started. The Speed Zealot's rotating elsewhere on the map right now. Don't want to go through this little area. Just picking off some of these eggs now for quicker rallies. Now, let's see what he ends up doing with all these Zealots. That is a lot. Like, if these ran up against just that, I think they do just fine. But I don't think you want to do that because obviously more units are going to be popping out. As more pop out, it will swing towards Zerg very quickly. It's just a group of 12 at the moment. More High Templars coming out as Storm is almost done. In fact, he's going to 6 High Templars. Now, there's still just the singular, or, well, I guess we're up to 2 Corsairs now. But when you're making so few Corsairs, you can do things like get a ton of High Templars very, very quickly. Now, the one thing I am worried about is that Spire will be finishing. So will Soulkey switch over and go into Mutas here? If he does switch into Mutas, there's not very much anti-air. And I could definitely see a lot of High Templars being picked off. 6 High Templars out right now. 4 is generally the number that we end up seeing. I just want to throw that out there. So it is like pretty substantially more than normal, but I kind of like it. I want to see what he's going to end up being able to do with that. Now, he has taken this as his 3rd base. Hydra's coming through and harassing a little bit. Obviously, he has more than enough Zealots to hold that off right now. Couple cannons being warped in. Love this positioning. This is what I was talking about before. Does this look like something that can be attacked once these cannons are up? He has Psystorm. He has Zealots here. He has a couple cannons warping in. Yeah, it really doesn't look that way, even up from this angle. So it's like, well, if you can't attack up there, do you have to go around and attack this way? Well, this is, what is this? It's like 2 storms wide. Well, he's going to go up this ramp just as these cannons are finishing. So let's see if this ends up working out. That is a fantastic size storm in the back. These frontal Hydras will get massacred, but they end up getting some High Templar picks. Now, Ruin made many more High Templars than normal, okay? Normally, that would be half of the High Templars that someone has. Now he's attacking through again. He has 3 more back here. He's going to have to pull them forward. Lurkers coming up and burrowing. Tons of Hydras on the way right now for Soulkey as well. Lots of Dragoons being added in, and he doesn't have his observatory yet. So those Lurkers could be a little bit of a problem, but brings forward these High Templars. The Hydras trying to run forward to get some snipes, and in fact will fail there. They don't get any. 2 more storms already here. All right, 1 goes down. Another goes down there. We actually need a observer pretty badly. And it looks like he's going to just barely be pushing through. It feels like Ruin, like literally this game may have been 1 good storm or maybe about 3 units off of holding this attack. But I feel like you did see just how cost efficient he was able to be in this area. But Soulkey breaking him just before he was ready. Kind of a quick one. But anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.